I'm aware, my lord.
And will I also be right to say that you know the person who is in charge of the rules of procedure of Parliament regarding the decorum of Parliament? You have to be recorded.
Yes, my lord.
Honorable Chileke, is it true that the right honorable Speaker of Parliament must at all times be heard in silence while parliamentary debates are ongoing?
It depends.
Yes or no?
My lord, do you allow me?
Are you aware that the Honorable Speaker of Parliament must be heard
The
in
Honorable Speaker
silence?
in silence at all times, unless when you get up, raise points of procedure.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mbale, we are in the House on 27 September 2017.
I was in the house.
The House. And were you among the members, amongst the members of Parliament who were named and suspended by the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament?
I was among them, my lord.
Did you immediately heed to the Speaker's directive to exit the chamber?
There was no opportunity to do that.
Did you exit?
There was no opportunity to exit Parliament because of the circumstance.
So the answer will be recorded as a no.
My lord, there was no opportunity to exit Parliament because we are under siege. Are you under what? We are under siege.
Under siege. Honorable Mbale, did you hear the Speaker directing the Sergeant at Arms to evict you from the chamber?
No.
Honorable Chileke, did you consult your representative, your voters, during the Constitutional Amendment Bill?
My lord, I did it. I was in hospital.
We beg that. We beg your pardon.
I was not able to consult my constituents because during that period I was in hospital sick.
Were you able to participate and vote on the second reading of the Constitutional Amendment Bill?
Yes.
And will I be right to say that the nature of your vote represented the will and the consent of the people who voted you?
My lord, it did, but it would have been more reinforced if I had had the opportunity to consult them.
So the answer is yes. Did you vote on the third reading on 27th?
Can she say what she has just said? What did you say about the question that has just been asked?
My lord, I did vote, but I say that the will of my people will have been more reinforced if I had had the opportunity to consult them.
Madam Mbale, depending on the nature of your vote, whether it was yes or no, will it have changed on the second reading if you were given more opportunity? You voted yes, I am assuming, or no? Depending on the nature of the vote, I'm saying that it reflected the will and the consent of the people who voted you.
Councillor, do we know how the MP voted?
My Lord, I can refer you to the affidavit of Honorable Jenny Chibilige on the Hansards. If my Lord, that is pleases you, but we know, but just for the sake of the record. My Lord, Annex Chair F of Jenny Chibilige, that is in Karuhanga. Petition number 5.
If my Lord is on record, we can proceed. Yes.
For the record, my Lord, Honorable Nambozi, but on the second reading, voted no.
So just put to her that from the records you voted no.
For the record,
ask your question.
Yes.
My Lord, I voted no, but before I pronounced my no, I brought it to the attention of the Speaker that I was doubtful that what we are conducting was a legal process, and I don't know why those particular words were not properly captured in the answer.
Why they are not captured in the Hansard, is that what you're saying?
I had an opportunity to look at the Hansard, and I was greatly offended to find that those words were eliminated from the Hansard.
Honorable,
just a moment. My Lord is asking which words were omitted from the Hansard.
My Lord, when I was called to vote, I said that, Madam Speaker, I would love to be guided on the legality of this process. In my opinion, we are not proceeding according to our rules, but all the same, I'm voting no.
so that reflected the will of the people you are representing.
Yes, the will of my people was that I would vote in an environment that was in line with our rules of procedure and the Constitution.
And the answer would be no. Just confirm to vote.
I voted no.
Yes. Honorable members, I want to refer you to your affidavit. Do you have it with you there? Go to paragraph 16G. Can you read out to go to that paragraph? 16G.
That at the commencement of the plenary sitting in the afternoon of the 27th day of September 2017, while Honorable Semuju Ibrahim Nganda raised the matter to do with the heavy deployment of armed personnel at Parliament, the Speaker cited and arbitrarily suspended 25 MPs, myself inclusive, and accordingly, the proceedings were suspended for 30 minutes to allow us to move out and asked the Sergeant at Arms to ensure compliance.
So, Honorable Members, Bachireke, so will I be right to say that actually you had the Speaker suspending the House for 30 minutes?
Yes, the Speaker.
And asking you to exit the chamber?
My Lord, the Speaker read out our names and hurriedly announced that House had been suspended for 30 minutes.
So you had?
Yes, I did.
Thank you very much. That's all, my Lord, for cross-examination.
Is Elias Lopago, anything in re-examination?
Two questions, my Lord.
My Lord, is it before re-examination?
Madam Nambos, you have
We thought you had closed because we were told that is on by way of cross-examination.
My Lord?
Yes, it's on record.
No, from Mr. Wafirawara.
No. You were even clear that the cross-examination will be conducted by him. So if there are reasons for you to step in,
with put on one question.
Mr. Attorney General, if there are reasons for you to step in, the proper procedure is you seek permission from us.
My Lord, I seek leave to
Yes.
put the witness on one question.
And proceed.
Much obliged, my Lord. Ms. Nambos, Honorable Nambos, you have told this court that you are disappointed to find that your protests were not recorded on the Hansard.
Yes.
You saw an affidavit in support of this application.
Yes, I did.
Was your disappointment captured anyway in the affidavit?
My Lord,
Yes, sir.
the whole of my
Yes or no?
the whole of my affidavit shows a disappointment.
I made disappointment on the fact that the Hansard deliberately omitted your protestation.
Honorable Numbers, you can't say the whole of your affidavit shows disappointment. It begins by saying, I, Honorable Betty Numbers de Bakireke. Is that a disappointment? Are you disappointed that you are who you say to be?
My Lord, I was talking about the totality of the whole reason why I'm standing here. It's because I was offended, my Lord.
Can you help us? Because at the end of the day, we are going to look through these affidavits in and out. We'll read it from the first paragraph to the last and backwards to the first. So where would we discern your disappointment? It is important. If we fail to discern, it means the question to the learned Attorney General's question would not have been answered. But if we do,
But to be specific,
so you should help us.
to be specific, my Lord,
Just a moment, listen to my Lord.
The court may make up its mind whether you are being evasive or not.
Have you got
We reserve a right to determine whether you are evasive or not, whether you are evading questions or not. That's not good for you.
Have you understood? That if you do not help us to see where your disappointment is, you leave it open for this court to come out with. They will know whether your demeanor is wanting, whether you are evading the question, and it's not a good thing.
Answer the question as required. If it requires yes, answer yes. If it doesn't, if it requires a short explanation, do that. Otherwise, we will find you evasive.
much obliged, my Lord. My Lord, about the question which was
Just a
asked.
moment, just a moment. There are still questions from this side.
Maybe for clarity, your testimony is that you pointed out that you were doubtful about the legal process, about the bill was being handled.
Yes, my Lord.
And what the Honorable Deputy Attorney General wants to know, and we as a court also would like to be guided, why didn't you, or did you, in your affidavit, point this out?
My Lord, as I went through the attachments that were given to this court of the answer last evening, when I checked to be sure if my words had been captured, that's when I discovered that they were not there. My Lord, I discovered after I had sworn this affidavit. Otherwise, if I had seen it earlier, I would have included it in the affidavit, my Lord.
So you are saying in the parliamentary proceeding, the handset, the left of certain words you uttered on the floor of Parliament. Again, you seem to be telling me and my brothers and sisters here that in this affidavit you are intending to capture your disappointment. Again, you find it is not there. That is the impression I get.
Oh, my Lord.
Are you also disappointed with your affidavit?
My Lord, I'm not disappointed. Now that you have also given me an opportunity,
Yes.
to restate what I said in Parliament.
What you've stated, you told us we know. You really said. I could ask you questions. You know, some people have been in the same house. That the practice used to be, I can tell you from my personal experience in the Constituent Assembly and in the 6th Parliament, that when your speech, your contribution, your presentation is transcribed, a draft copy is sent to you for necessary correction. I don't know what happens now. Probably you're too many and it can't be done. And they will take all the stationery, I don't know. But that's what used to happen, a correction, a cross-check, and then the final, what appears in the answer as your participation. Did you make such correction if the practice still obtains? Did you make the correction that I said this, it does not appear here?
My Lord, it has just come to my attention, and I intended to raise it, my Lord, with the Speaker.
Okay. Fine, Mr. Lokwago, please proceed. I don't know if the question which was clarified by my learned brother. Yes, Mr. Lokwago.
Honorable, just a minute. Honorable, it's good to see you smiling. When I read your affidavit, all these issues of torture and your health really touched me when I read it. How is your health now?
My Lord, I've been told that I'm due to travel back for review as soon as the medical board clears me.
Okay.
Just a few questions in the exam. Honorable Namboze, you stated that when the Speaker cited the 25 members of Parliament and ordered that they should vacate the House, that you had no opportunity to exit from the chambers because you were under siege. Would you explain what...
Can you adjust the microphone so that you are heard loud and clear?
Would you explain what you meant by being under siege?
My Lord, on that particular day, when the Speaker read out our names, she immediately exited the chambers, having told us that we had 30 minutes to leave. But even before the Speaker could get out of the chambers, strangers had entered the House and they were grabbing MPs and dragging them, beating them up. In particular, I saw them grabbing Honorable Semujunganda and throwing him down. Honorable Mwanga, Kivumbi also, yet both these two had not been part of the 25, and a group of ladies whom I believe are from the security, but who were dressed in civilian clothes, came towards me. I fell down, and Honorable Aswante fell over me because he was also being pushed. I was dragged out of the House.
Mr. Kwame, this is not examination in chief.
Yeah, I understand.
Ask a question, get an answer. You don't want a story.
Yeah, most obliged, my lord. I appreciate that.
You create a situation where the attorney general will jump up and say, I'm going to cross-examine her on this, and there'll be no end.
My lord, it was just an explanation about that opportunity. Lastly, on that particular issue, the issue of the sergeant at arms, you were asked whether you complied with the orders. Did the sergeant at arms at any one moment come to you to vacate the house?
The sergeant at arms did not come.
Councillor Lukwago Elias, if I understood this witness, our case is, when the speaker made the order, she, I hope she also means others, was and were not given the opportunity to comply. So the issue of the sergeant at arms coming does not arise, because our case is, we're not given the opportunity to comply.
Most of that, my lord, that's the clarification I had wanted to.
She seemed to have been a very compliant member of parliament, but the opportunity to prove that was not available. That is her case.
Most obliged, my lord. Moving on to the issue of consultation, you said you did not consult the people. Why?
She told you already.
She was in hospital.
You see, you are supposed to she said she was sick. She asked questions in re-examination, please.
You see, the purpose of re-examination is not to go through the entire thing. You may find an area where in cross-examination she may not have been clear, and you help her to clarify. People don't go to hospital to dance disco. They go to hospital. She said she was in hospital, and her affidavit is clear on why she was in hospital. Yes.
Also, but here, my lord, there were some hazy areas on the issue of the consultations and the voting. That's the clarification.
No, that's different. The reason why she did not consult was because she was in hospital admitted. It's clear from the affidavit, it's clear from the cross-examination.
Maybe Council Kwago, we can get some clarification from Honorable Numbers. Strangers entered the house. What meaning should the court attach to this?
That Parliament was invaded, my lord. That there was a lot of violence against us, my lord, to the extent that some of us were maimed for life.
No, that's not the meaning of strangers. My lord wants to find out from you, what do you mean by strangers? As simple as that. Did the court invade the house? Because the court would be a stranger to the house. But what do you mean by stranger? If we went to the house in weeks, we would be thrown out because we are strangers.
Earlier on,
what do you mean by strangers? That's what my lord is asking.
On that day, my lord, at around midday, people dressed in suits moved from the president's office into Parliament, and I was on floor number 5 in the leader of opposition's office, to be specific, the boardroom, and we saw them entering Parliament in a single file.
From the boardroom, you can see what is in Parliament.
From the local's office, you can see people, the distance between the president's office and Parliament, and we saw
my lords, I object.
dozens.
That is fresh evidence on which I may be required to cross-examine the witness.
Let's. So, Honorable Becky, the question which was asked, what do you mean by strangers?
She has been answered.
So, you see, if what you mean by strangers is that these are not members of Parliament and they are no right to be there, just say this.
My lord,
yes.
These were not members of Parliament, and the Speaker, when she gets visitors, she always introduces them before the House begins and she introduces that we have visitors either in the speakers gallery or in the main gallery. These people were not introduced either as...
So that's what you mean by strangers?
Yes, my lord. They were strangers to the house. They were not members of parliament.
Please, Mr. Lukwago, please.
My lord, just last question. On the question of the record omitting the statement which you made at the floor of parliament on the issue of procedure, you did say you have just discovered it. Can you be precise? When did it come to your mind, your attention? When did it occur to you that actually it was omitted?
Last evening, my lord.
Last evening. And on that very issue, were you in any way given an opportunity to look at the answer before?
No.
Honorable please, yes.
You said you are not, you do not have an opportunity to consult with your people.
My lord.
I think if you had, probably your vote would have been different.
My lord.
If you had a chance to consult, would it have changed your... Is it probable that probably you would have changed your vote?
If at all my people at consultation would change their mind, because, my lord, there had been a public debate and somehow I had got to know the general feeling of my constituency. But my lord, it would have been very beautiful if I had had the opportunity to interact with them. I would be more firm in my answer.
Okay. Honorable Vete, the numbers, it's on record, there's evidence that consultation monies were given to members of parliament. Was it given across the board, including you?
My lord, that money was deposited on my account.
Yes. And it was explained to you the purpose of that money.
I was meant to understand that it was to assist us in consultation.
Since you did not consult for reasons you've given, did you refund that money back to Parliament?
Yes, my lord.
You did?
I sent Parliament a check of 29 million on the 20th of December 2017 when I returned, and I attached a small note that was received by the clerk.
Yes.
And if it pleases you, my lord, I can...
What does the note say?
It says return of 29 million for consultation. As may be aware, I'm writing to the chief accountant, as may be aware, Parliament disbursed Uganda shillings 29 million allegedly for consultations. I hereby return the same via Stanbic Bank check number 000005 to Parliament of Uganda. It is dated 19th December 2017 for onward transmission to the Treasury, as I do not find this payment necessary.
Was the money
My lord.
yes or no?
It must have been paid, but...
No.
Honorable numbers, you check, I'm sure you
Because
go
that
through
would just
your...
have been a gimmick. Yes. Did you transfer it? Why did you transfer it by other things? RTGS?
That is one. Two, from that explanatory note, which you sent to Parliament, you do not indicate that the reason I'm sending back the money, I could not consult, I was in hospital.
My Lord,
the impression you give in that note, whether you were free up and about like a bird, you'd still not have used that money.
My Lord,
that's what I understand.
Even if I had been around, I would have returned that money.
But did you actually return it? You have the bank statement showing that the money was taken from your account.
My Lord, I don't have the bank account here.
You have the
bank statement.
What is the purpose of the check? The question is, did you actually return that money?
My Lord,
you have evidence that...
Maybe put it in another way. Did the Parliament acknowledge receipt of your refund? Did they write you that they have received your money?
My Lord, when I took the check, they stamped this letter and I remained with it.
Did they say they had received your money?
They did not communicate to me about receiving the money or how they are proceeding to handle the check. But my intention is clear. I gave them a check to withdraw this money from my account.
Okay, thank you.
And my Lord, for the record,
yes,
it is in paragraph 33 of our affidavit. That issue.
About what?
Refunding of the money.
Why does he attach the bank statement? It's clearly showing that the money had been removed from her account. And if it is still there, she can still do it.
My Lord, we shall submit on that issue because it was not rebutted by the other.
You can't submit on the list of evidence.
Thank you, Honorable.
My Lord, just one more. One more. You seem to be saying that you didn't consult, you responded the money, but earlier you had said that your vote represented the views of your constituents. You still maintain that position?
My Lord, I sleep in my constituency. When this matter came up, there was public debate. And I was able to know the position of my people. But as I told the court, my Lord, it would have been more better if I had had the opportunity to consult them.
Okay.
My Lord, I pray that the testimony from the witness that there had been public debate be put on record.
He's been speaking loud and clear, and Honorable Attorney General, the machine hears better than you and I, so it is on record. It's on record. Yes. Thank you so much. You can now take your seat elsewhere, and if you want to enjoy the proceedings, you can enjoy like any other court user. But thank you so much for coming to contribute to this important cause.
My Lords, this Honorable Court summoned 9 witnesses from the respondent side. We were able to get 7, and as I informed the court earlier, 2 are outside the country but are available on Skype. However, my Lord, now we are prepared to start with the 7 who are available in this honorable court.
Honorable members, I don't want you intimidating my witnesses. That is sacred ground, so would you find a place? Can somebody be gentleman enough to offer a lady a seat? Come again? Okay. We can give you a chair, but I am not comfortable you being near a place set aside for witness. Find something, find a chair for her. No, tell her to sit. Tell this one. You can sit. For you, you sit. You sit. Okay, now transfer this chair there and bring that one here for the court official.
But the environment I see are not like
There is a way.
They are less comfortable than...
Remove this one.
but we have discussed as can go. They are what? But it's no longer bad. Since we have discussed you, why don't you go home?
You're most welcome to attend. Yes, Attorney General, can we have the next, the first of the witnesses?
We are presenting the first witness, Mr. Keith Makanizi, Permanent Secretary, Secretary Treasury.
You're already on record. What is your faith? Religious faith?
Huh?
What is your religious faith? Oh, I am Christian. So you pick a Bible, raise it up, and there is a statement of oath which has been written down for you. Just read through it and then we proceed. Loud enough, yeah.
My lords, I, Keith Makanizi, do hereby swear by the Almighty God that evidence I shall give touching the matter now for this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
My Lord.
I would wish to know how we are going to proceed. I accept that in respect of petition number 5, that is your yes. Are the other council also going to prosecute in respect of whose petition is not responsible?
My Lord, there is one in respect of Marima Vidi's.
My Lord, depending on the cross-examination by my colleagues, I may ask a few questions.
Did they accept in response to your petition?
He did.
He did, eh?
Yes, he did, my Lord. Oh.
My lords, I object because counsel for the respondents, for the petitioners who sought to cross-examine the witness are known. This is not a fishing expedition. If they didn't apply to cross-examine the witness, they are stopped from doing so. They don't do so merely because the witness has appeared. It can only be counsel that applied to cross-examine the witness to do so.
And there were three, there was Mr. Kwaku, Mr. Yankama, and Mr. Marima.
My Lord, for the record, Mr. Biamakama only applied to cross-examine one witness, Mohanga. he did not apply to cross-examine any other person in these cases, the petition.
Now, what is your case, Attorney General? You're saying when Councillor Elias Lukwago said, I would like the Secretary to the Treasury to be summoned for cross-examination, Mr. Biamukama and Mr. Mabilizi should have stood up to say, we also want to cross-examine him. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. In absence of what we had required that counsel who intend to cross-examine witnesses should indicate areas where they want to cross-examine him. They didn't do that. That's why I'm calling it a fishing expedition.
No, but isn't this a peculiar situation where the petitions are being had together? And if the witness I want to cross-examine one of us in court, really say, want this witness for cross-examination, and I'm satisfied that I will now have the opportunity to cross-examine. Is it fair or real? I mean, is it? And in view of the rule we set here in this court, that whatever question whoever will come up with must be restricted to the affidavit petition. My Lord,
I think that the consultation of the petitions does not form a merger. They still remain independent petitions. And individual counsel requested individually for witness the required procedure. And if the others also wanted the same witness, they would have probably said so.
I am much obliged, my lords.
we will proceed this way. Mr. Lukwago will cross-examine the witness, and who knows, whatever the other side wants to ask might have been covered in the cross-examination. When it's done, then we can make a decision as to whether the others can cross-examine or not.
My Lord, for the record, I applied specifically to cross-examine him. So
yes, Mr. Babidi said in addition to the ones who have been called. Mr. Jamukama did not say in addition.
We will make that decision when Mr. Jamukama, you may find you have nothing to ask. If you want to know where the sun sets in the evening, which direction to the four directions of the compass, and Mr. Lukwago asked that question, did you ask again?
My lords, I'm obliged. My own application was after Mr. Lukwago.
No. I've said that will now arise after Mr. Lukwago is done. Yes.
My lords, I'll go with the decision of the court.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Lukwago.
I'm obliged.
Elias.
My Lord, again, on the procedural matter, since the Attorney General indicated we want to tender in a second certificate and we desire to cross-examine the witness on the same, if it pleases you, my Lord, we will pray that
yes, fine. That's just a formality because the court has already ordered it should be put here.
Yes. That is not the procedure. The procedure would presume that you proceed in cross-examination, and when you put to him the question, is there a second certificate? Then the certificate will be introduced. The certificate not be introduced from the bar.
Also glad, my Lord. Mr. Wakanizi, I presume you have a copy of your affidavit? If you have, straight away go to Annexure A to that petition.
Affidavit?
No, I'm sorry, to the affidavit. And confirm that that is the instruction you received from Parliament to process a certificate of compliance.
Yes.
You see the inscription there. DB. Can you read that inscription?
Yes.
Who wrote that?
That
It is DB5, or can you read it out? The one in ink, DB.
Oh, for sure.
This is
Where is it?
Annex Chapter
this is the letter by
Clerk to Parliament,
Yes.
to the Minister of Finance.
Yes.
Yeah, I see DD 5 prepare certificate for the Honorable Minister of Finance.
Yeah, who is instructing who?
This signature seems to be one of, I know.
I want you to be certain. Do you know who instructed who to prepare a certificate of compliance?
I think it was
But Mr. Montanizi, the procedure is this. Your ears have to be with Council of Kwabra, but your mouth has to be with us. You're addressing us, not him. So you must have that balance. Whatever you say, you don't say it to Mr. Lukwabra. Mr. Lukwabra just enjoys the benefit of being here to listen to you. You address us.
Your Lordship, this one seems, I suspect it is the Deputy Secretary who was the acting secretary at that time.
Are you sure or you're not sure?
I'm not so sure, but the one of finance.
Who is DP?
Director Budget.
Director what?
Director Budget.
Director Budget. So that instruction from the Clerk to Parliament was addressed to the Minister.
Yes.
Whose obligation is to prepare, whose obligation is it to prepare certificate of financial implication?
It is the duty of the Secretary of Treasury to prepare it, and then for the Minister,
it is the duty
for the Minister's consideration.
It is the PS,
the PSST's duty to prepare it for the Minister's consideration.
Can you confirm you are the PSST?
I am the PSST.
Can you also confirm you never prepared one?
Yes, at that time I was out of the country, so there was a PSST who was my deputy.
Who is that?
Mr. Patrick Ocharao. He was the Secretary of Treasury at that time.
Patrick
Ocharao.
Okay. Can you also confirm that your deputy never prepared one?
My deputy prepared one to the extent that he's the one who instructed the...
Who prepared? Let me put it differently. Who was instructed to prepare the certificate of financial implication?
It was the Deputy Secretary of Treasury, the Director Budget, who was instructed...
Wait for my question. So, did the Director Budget prepare one, the certificate of financial implication?
It is a process, my lords. It is absolutely a process, a bureaucratic process.
Can you answer my question? Yes.
I'm answering you, please. It is a bureaucratic process that the Deputy Secretary, the Secretary of Treasury at that time requested one of his staff, is part of the Secretary of Treasury, to help him in preparing the certificate. And this certificate, it was
Mr. Mwakanis, you answer my question. Did the Director Budget prepare a certificate of financial implication or not?
It is a process, please.
So, who initiated this process?
It was the Deputy Secretary of Treasury. I can see it.
So, the instruction was to prepare it before 2 p.m.
Yes, incredibly efficient.
And Annex B.
Yes.
That very moment, after 2 p.m., was forwarded to Para.
All I can say it was...
Can you answer my question?
I can't answer at the time.
Yes.
But I can answer yes, it was forwarded by the Parliament, by the the then secretary, the acting secretary to treasury, which is proper.
So it was forwarded on that very day, that afternoon.
I thought he had said he was out of the country. Were you in the country?
I was out of the country, but there was a treasury who forwarded it to the house that time.
You can see that the Annex B is signed by Patrick Ochaliap 4. Ochaliap 4. For the
Yes, my Lord, I'm following the chronology here.
yes.
Yeah, my Lord, case here, you said that very afternoon it was forwarded. Are you sure or you're not sure?
I've said I don't know the exact time as I was not there, but what I can confirm is that the Secretary of Treasury, who was there, the acting Secretary of Treasury, forwarded is the one who forwarded the certificate to Parliament.
So, do you know when it was forwarded? I mean, whether it was ascertained by the minister or not? Do you know?
Yes, I know that the minister signed it. It was proper. Like all the certificates, it was part of Parliament.
So, let's, as I conclude on that particular issue, the chronology is like this. It's on that very afternoon, it started from Director Budget, it went to the acting PSST, to the minister, and then to Parliament that very afternoon.
I can't confirm whether it was that very afternoon as I was out of the country, but I can confirm for sure it followed the proper bureaucratic procedure from Director Budget, forwarded to the minister by Patrick Charap, who was the government secretary of treasury at that time, and the minister signed it. Whether it was the same time, up to or after, that I can't confirm. But I can confirm it's the real certificate which was done, it was proper.
Okay. As a PSST, are you well conversant with the provisions of Article 93 of the Constitution?
Yeah, yes.
Well, was this certificate prepared under Article 93 or not?
I believe it was.
It was under Article 93. Now, look at paragraph 7. George David. Yes. 7B. Yes. Can you read it out? Then I ask you the question.
No, we can't read it.
Most obliged. That provision, that what you are stating in paragraph B, is it captured anywhere in Article 90?
No.
93?
This is a witness of fact. He's a witness of fact. He cannot be cross-examined on issues of law or his opinion on law. When I cross-examine him on issues of fact.
My Lord.
Not opinion. You see, the answer he gives you is not going to be a fact. It's going to be his opinion.
Most obliged.
Yes.
But was stating matters of law.
He said he got information from Attorney General.
My Lord, I'll take him back to the...
Whatever I say, what is with it, it's his opinion, whether it's right or not.
Most obliged, my Lord. Let's go back to page 2 of the certificate. Page 2 of the certificate, which is Annexure C. My Lord, I'll take you to straight to paragraph B of the certificate, fund expenditure, by major components over the MTF period.
I don't know, but my understanding of this act is that the witness simply said this document was prepared, was signed by the minister, and was passed. As to its contents, he does not own. The person who signed it could be the one to ask the question, because he's not the author of the annexure.
But my lord, this is the PSSB.
Oh, okay. Then you ask this in your own knowledge. But this, as a PS, in your own knowledge, then that one you can answer.
Okay.
But as to the contents of this, when he has not authored it, and the author is available.
Okay. Mr. Keith, can you confirm to court that actually what the ministry was assessing was whether the funds were available for the bill or not?
My understanding was that the assessment was whether the bill was complying with the Constitution of Uganda and Public Finance Act to the effect that it had or had no financial implications or a charge on the consolidated account. That was the purpose of this.
What does this phrase mean now, that the bill was budget neutral? What do you understand by that?
It means that budget neutral, yes, to the extent that the budget had been prepared in the MTF, which is 2 years, as per the law. There was no extra resources or a charge, and that's what the minister was confirming. The extra charge will come up as a result of this bill.
Oh, extra charge.
Extra or any charge.
No, you've answered the question, extra charge. Now, my lord, I beg you to move on now to the certificate.
Are you closing down when he says NAO? What did you say? You are still here.
My lord,
did you say extra charge or no charge?
Oh, no, I said no charge. Extra or any other new charge. Let me put it clear.
Now that it is being reopened up, I may ask you the assessment of the financial implication of this bill was based on the budgetary framework paper you had, or rather the medium-term financial expenditure kind of. The MTF, whatever you mean by that. It was based on that. Yes or no?
Can you repeat his question?
The assessment whether this bill had a financial implication or not was based on the medium-term expenditure framework of the ministry.
What of the ministry? Of the country?
Of the country, yes. It was based on that.
Yeah, we do the assessment.
Mr. Mwakanizi, you address court. Forget his existence, but keep your ears open to what he says. We are the ones who are going to assess you, not Mr. Lokwago.
I am right.
If you spend all your time with him, we might be very harsh with you.
Your Lordship, I am right.
Yes.
And it was for that term of 2 years.
Yes,
it was for 2 years. Yes or no?
Yes, because that is in harmony with Mr. Blood. That was in harmony with the Public Finance Act, which to my understanding, because I'm not a lawyer.
You do the explanation later.
Let me finish. I beg you, Your Lordship, is that act was, in my view, put in place to actualize, is that the English?
No, Mr. Mwakanizi. he decides what he wants from you.
My answer,
you don't decide what you want to tell him.
My answer at that stage is yes.
Some things he doesn't want to hear, so you cannot offer.
My answer at that stage is yes.
Okay, proceed, Mr. Rupert.
So, the 2 years, the 2 financial years, were which one and which one?
The MTF?
Yes, those which were put into consideration as you are assessing the implications.
It is the subsequent 2 years.
No, which one?
17, 18. 17, 18, and 18, 19.
What animals are those? 17, 18, and 18, 19, what are those?
It has to be the financial year which it was being assessed for.
Say 17, 18, none of us was born. So I think what you want to say is 2017 stroke 2018. That's different from 17, 18. It goes back to the years of Bismarck and the other. So we better be clear for the sake of our record. 2017 stroke 2018, that's a financial year. And then 2018 stroke 2019. Those are the 2 subsequent years. Did I get you right? You are referring to...
No, sorry, let me do this. We are assessing it 18, 19.
So, 2018
19
to 2019.
Yes.
Those are 2 financial years. Whether financial... Is that 1 or 2 financial or fiscal years? Is it 1 or 2? Because you have 2017,
2018,
stroke 18. That is 1 financial year. Then 2018, stroke 2019 is another financial year. So those are the ones we are referring to.
Okay. Now,
Mr. Hakan, when you note, your scriber doesn't get the answer. When you nod your head,
the machine does not record nodding or shaking of the head.
Thank you very much for correcting that.
It deals with audio, not gesture. So it deals with audio.
now, can you also confirm to court that in this financial year 2018-2019, you budgeted for a referendum as a way of implementing this particular act which was passed?
No. Sorry.
Mr. Mwakaniza, I have the referendum. Have you budgeted for the referendum as a way of implementing this act?
No. We have anticipated separately for a referendum, which is not a matter of this act.
My Lord, I have this document to show to the witness. If he can read the rule.
What document is that?
My Lord, the budget. The budget.
We have it.
My Lord, it has just come into our possession. It's about a budget for a referendum.
My Lord, I object. There's a procedure, Mr. Lekam. I object. You can't bombard the witness with things which, as I said, are extraneous to the affidavit. If they are within the affidavit and there are no documents attached to the affidavit, you have a procedure before you even present it to him.
Mr. Brad, my Lord, well, maybe we shall handle it with the Secretary of Cabinet, but it's very important.
No, I'm not stopping you. I'm not saying follow the proper procedure. And you know the procedure in law.
Mr. Kwab, I think this is really absolutely but elementary. You ask a question. Has the budget, whatever document been prepared, you know, he says yes. If I showed you that, would you recognize it? Say yes. Here is the document. Do you recognize it? Says yes. Then that's, yes. But you don't say have this document. Read it. No. But you ask questions reading. Did you write a letter to the PS of this day? I don't remember. If I will show you that letter, would you recognize that? Do you recognize this signature? Yes, I recognize it. It's mine. Or it's for my undersecretary. Then you treat this.
My Lord, these other questions were preceded by the issue of whether there was a budget for referendum or not.
We're talking about the document, Mr. Lokwa.
But my Lord, he has said there is no budget in this financial year for the referendum.
No problem. The only issue is about this. The only issue is about the way you introduce the document. I have. That's all. The procedure.
Your Lordship, I need to make a clarification. In the context of the bill which is in my office.
No. Mr. Mwakanizi, he asked you, your lawyer is the Attorney General of Uganda. If he thinks you have to make some clarification, or if court thinks you have to make some clarification, he will do so. Otherwise, you go when you're about to reach the finishing line, you come back to where they say get on your mark, you never finish the race.
Yeah, Brian.
Yes.
Let me ask it for the last time.
You can go to the proper procedure.
Most obliged, my Lord. Would you wish to be on record that there is no budget for the referendum in this financial year, in the next financial year, 2018-2019?
My Lord, I object to that question. The witness is being cross-examined on his affidavit.
That says the act is budget neutral.
The issue of the referendum does not arise anywhere in his affidavit.
The act is budget neutral. And the question being put to him is whether the expenditure are the result of his.
It is. But that's not how the question is put. The question is specific on whether there is a budget for the referendum, which, as a matter of fact, is not contained in his affidavit.
My Lord,
please.
The issue was the certificate was for 2 financial years, 2017-2018 and 2018-2019, and I've confined my questions within that scope.
The big council put to Mr. Mwahakanis the question.
Mr. Mwahakanis, the last time I'm putting this question to you.
Why the last time?
Put it to him the question whether in preparing this certificate, the issue of the bill requiring holding a referendum was considered.
Well, my Lord, I didn't take that route because it's already on record in the evidence of the Attorney General that will be required. I wanted to move a step forward.
What is required?
You're being guided.
Yeah, most obliged. Now, Mr. Mwahakanis, on the question of the referendum, did you put it into consideration as you were assessing this?
Mr. Kwabo, just to clarify my understanding, this is the certificate of financial implication that came at the beginning of this markets bill, before it had metamorphosed into the other issues. So I think we should look at it dated 28. By the time the other issues came in, Nandara Mafabi, if you look at the hazard, it was way after 28. So maybe you need to, maybe that is when you should put the question whether there is a second certificate. At this point, then you can get the other one. No, I'm just clarifying.
Most obliged, man. Most obliged, man. Are you aware whether you prepared more than one certificate?
Yes.
Okay. So can the second certificate, do you have it?
But court does not have it. You want to introduce it later?
You prepared one.
Ask him when he prepared it. And in respect of what? Then,
who prepared it?
The Minister of Finance. It was signed by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic.
No, I'm asking the other one. We understood it was your assistant. Now this one, who worked on it?
I was on leave, so it was also prepared by.
Or even this one you're on leave?
But it was prepared by. I was on leave, but it was prepared by Secretary Treasury.
Okay. So, can you show us which particular one you have?
it's only one copy? Mr. Attorney General, do you have only one copy? It's a composite court, and we expected you to have done the needful. Let's look at the document first, Mr. Dokwan, because yes, Mr. Lukaku, can you proceed, please, with the witness?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, have you discovered the document?
Yes. That's it.
May I have a look at that certificate? Okay. Most of blood.
Council, Mr. McCall, you have no more questions to ask?
I'm proceeding, my Lord.
Yes.
My Lord, let me start with that covering letter. Can you tell the court that letter which is accompanying this document, that letter dated 18? Who is the author?
The letter is from Parliament, and the author is Honorable Mbale Augusta.
So, it is Mbale Augusta, MP for what?
MP for Bukori County, North Virginia.
Can you confirm is the one who requested for this certificate?
Yes.
Is the one who requested for it?
Yes.
When was that?
Council Kwagari, you relying on the letter?
Yes, my Lord, I intend to rely on it.
Because it hasn't been tendered.
It has just been brought to my attention here, and I wanted to first read the witness, my Lord. And that letter from Augusta Chawa requesting for this certificate, bears which date?
18th December 2017.
18th December. It is addressed to
The best Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
And in response to that letter of Augusta Chawa Mbale, you prepared this certificate, the second one.
Yes.
When was it prepared? Was he requested on 18?
What was prepared and signed finally on 19th December 2017.
It was in respect to which particular bill?
It was in respect to the letter of Mr. Mbale. Mr. Mbale, yes.
No, I mean, it was in which, I mean, it was in respect to which particular bill? It was concerning which particular bill?
It was not a bill. For us, we are responding to the issues he raised in his letter, which is here.
Okay. So you are not responding to a bill? You are not assessing a bill?
No.
So you assessed Mr. Mbale's prayer?
Yes.
And that prayer was about, if you could read in the background, about amendment of section 7, article 77.3 and article 1051. Yes? That is in the background, that first paragraph?
The leadership, can I read this paragraph? With your authority?
Yes, put it to you so you read it.
As you may be aware, the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament, while considering the Constitution Amendment number 2, Bill 17, in bracket the Maga's bill, came up with a number of recommendations, among which is that the parliamentary and local government, the parliamentary and local council term of office be expanded from the current 5 years to 7 years. Can I read this next sentence? Paragraph? Parliament has a jurisdiction to amend the parliamentary and local government tenure of office. An amendment for the presidential term requires a referendum to align the latter tenure with the former.
Okay. And in paragraph C of that financial certificate, paragraph C, yes. The expected outcomes of that amendment by Mr. Mugwe.
Yes.
What does it say?
Can I read it?
Yes.
The expected outcomes of the amendment.
But what I don't understand, if you have got a witness to clarify, and you're asking him to read what we can read,
Most obliged, my lord.
why don't you ask him to clarify?
Most obliged, my lord.
And to shorten cross-examination, why don't you kindly change the style from that of examination in chief to that of cross-examination? What I learned at those schools is you say, is this your document? Yes. It's dated 19? Yes. In paragraph 3 it says 260? Yes.
Most obliged, my lord. So in paragraph C, this document talks about a referendum to extend the tenure of president. Yes? Yes or no? So you budgeted for it. You are budgeted for it. A referendum. Yes or no? Have you budgeted for that referendum or no? As the PSST Minister of Finance.
I need to correct my mind because yes, there was a request from.
Have you made a budgetary allocation for it or not?
The Lordship had not prepared that statement of fact. What I do know for a statement of fact, the Electoral Commission requested for us to budget for it. I will need to take
No, at the time, Mr. Morganizi, at the time you came up with this document, not now. Because you at the end of this document you say it can be accommodated within the existing something resources. That's what I read. I hope the document will formally come before God. So at that time, have you budgeted for it? That's what I was asking.
No, simply no.
Okay, let me put it different, my lord. Will you spend money on the referendum? No. Yes or no?
The Lordship, if
I got to seek clarification.
Yes.
There seems to be
Mr. Down.
two certificates of financial implication. So we want to know where Mr. Lukwago is reading from. Is he reading from the first one, the second one, or the letter of Muboya?
My lord, I'm looking at the second certificate.
And that's what we understand.
Yes. So my question is very simple, my lord. Whether there will be expenditure on the referendum from the Minister of Finance.
the budget has not been approved by Parliament. I do not know whether Parliament will pass it or not. They can amend even the budget.
But is there a provision, because the estimates were for 2 years?
I have said I need to consult the budget which was presented to Parliament. But I do know for sure that there was a request by the Electoral Commission.
Okay, I have here with me the budget from the Electoral Commission.
The request. That's a request.
No, just look at it if you are familiar with it, the budget from the Electoral Commission, because it comes from finance. Can you have a look at it? Yes,
In order to be in your cross-examination, why don't you end with this document? Apply to tender it in, and move to the next.
Most obliged, my lord. Wanted to tender them all together.
No, you see, thank you. There was a purpose for asking the witness on that set of documents. The letter, the certificate of financial implication. Be done with it, then
Most obliged, my lord.
Yes, yes.
My lord, I pray to have on record the letter of Chawa Muboya together with the accompanying certificate as an exhibit. I do pray, my lord.
Planet Attorney General, what do you say?
For the letter and the certificate of financial implications, we have no problem.
We haven't seen the letter because we don't have a copy. We don't have a copy that
My Lord, it was a discovery from the documents.
Yeah, but that we don't have at this what should be shown.
Most of that. These are documents which were brought by the witness, so I don't know. You can guide us.
Attorney General is not the witness. The witness is with you. So which is the document, or which are the documents he has been relying on? You would like the Attorney General to give one which the witness has not seen?
My Lord, I would seek for the indulgence of court to have copies processed.
No, the procedure is but if it's one original document, the only one, it's a will. You just give it to God, we have a look, then you give it back. Please clarify.
This court takes into evidence the letter written to the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development on the 18th December 2017 by one Bugoya Chairwa Gasta MP, and the certificate of financial implications signed by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development on the 19th of December 2017. Those would form part of our record.
Most obliged.
My lords, we can mark those as exhibits.
Come again?
We can have them marked as exhibits for clarity when we're making submissions. Yes, my lord.
How did we mark the other ones?
They are mixtures, so the law is a little bit different. Whatever is attached becomes part of the record. But these ones have been introduced and they're outside the affidavit.
Not
so we can mark them as...
we do not mark those ones which are annexures differently. They remain according to the mark on them as annexures.
Yes, my lord.
P1 and P1 and P2. So the letter from the Member of Parliament will be P1, and the certificate of financial implication will be P2. Yes, Elias. Conclude, please. Conclude.
Most of that.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Muhakanis, you approved that the budget of the Electoral Commission is the document familiar with. I mean, are you familiar with that document? As the PSS in finance.
This no, because the document is addressed to the chairperson of the legal committee of Parliament, not financial, not public.
But do you have a budget for the Electoral Commission for this financial year?
As I said, that one I need to check whether that's because that's a statement of fact check. I come back to this if that's what you're allowed, whether we budgeted for it or not.
Mr. Kwabo, for a witness to testify on a document, the first question is whether it was the author, or whether it was addressed to that person, or whether it was copied to that person.
But finance appropriations, my lord, originate from the Minister of Finance.
Yeah, ask that question. Does this originate from your office?
Most obliged, my lord. I'll move on to another man.
Hey, don't be enough of that. Where does the investment come from? It's from his office. Ask him, is this from your office?
Why don't you conduct your case?
My lord.
Conduct your case.
My lord.
Why don't you put that question to him of using the financial implication certificate?
My lord, I wanted to put it differently, using this budget, if he confirms or denies. I have, Mr. Mwakanizi as PSST. Are you aware that you have budgeted for 263.4 billion for the referendum this financial year? Are you aware?
Not aware.
Council, when you say this financial year, this financial year ends in June
2018-2019.
So it is not this, it is next. Would you like to put the question again to him? Because you are saying this financial year.
2018-2019, my lord.
Mr. Mwakanizi, are you aware if you budgeted for a referendum in the financial year beginning 1st of July 2018, ending 30th of June 2019?
Your Lordship, I've stated it earlier on. I'm not aware, but I need to check facts. I am not prepared for it when I came here, sir, because it was not part of the updates I was coming with. So I will need to go back and cross-examine whether. So I'm not aware.
Yeah, Mr. Lokogo, now you had some document you wanted to confront him with.
My Lord, have you looked at the budget of the Electoral Commission as PSST?
My Lord, I will beg to object to the line of questioning. The witness is very clear about the document that has been presented to him. The Electoral Commission budget is not an issue, and it is not part of the affidavit. I think he's on a fishing expedition, my Lord.
Councillor Elias, you see, the thing is, he can speak authoritatively about what they've acted on. Yet, before you could even ask about that, assuming it was sent to them, and they've even received, acknowledged receipt, he's saying he cannot remember whether they, as the ministry, have included the referendum in the forthcoming financial year. This is what he has said.
Most of that.
At that point, you would request to help him refresh his mind by showing him that.
My Lord, I asked him whether he's familiar with the document. He said,
no, but that document, you see, it is like this. If the document, that's why Council is protesting. If the document is either a request or whatever it is from Electoral Commission, assuming he says, yes, I know this document, we've received it. You still come back to point one, that despite this document, I don't remember if we have. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So it doesn't help. But if the document had been generated by the Minister of Finance, then you can put it to him. Say, does it now refresh your memory about what you could not remember? If it is not from finance, it's tricky. I mean, he will say, yes, we have received it. Then you ask him, have you included it in the budget? He'll repeat what he has already said.
most obliged, my Lord. I'll move on to another issue.
Please do.
Mr. Mwakan is here. You were saying as ministry that once the term of parliament, this existing parliament, is extended to 2023, government will be saved of money that would be used in elections, and it will save money for vehicles. Can you confirm to court that even after 2023, in as much as there will be no election, you will have to spend money in the form of emoluments to members of parliament?
Your Lordship, as long as there will be a parliament, there will be emoluments.
So this provision that there will be savings is false?
No, it's correct.
Councillor Elias, the witness has been clear. I don't know, maybe I'm using strained ears to hear what he's saying. The witness is clear from the document. Whether we agree with him or not is a different matter. That because we would then not hold elections in 2021, the cost of holding election would have been saved. That's what he's saying. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, my Lord.
Yes, holding elections. It doesn't say the continuing parliament will not be paid. No. It is the cost of holding elections in 2021. The money you would spend would be put to other things, like building a road in the city of Kampala where the Lord Mayor would be interested. That's what he's saying.
Or increasing salaries of judges.
Most obliged, my Lord.
Yes. But I thought your question was, whether you hold the election in 21 or 23, don't you spend money? I thought that's what your question was.
The question was, would there be expenditure on the MPs even after 2021, between 21 and 23?
He said naturally yes, but that is not what his document was saying. The savings he's talking about is my holding election.
My question that expenditure will not be as the result of the act. Their expenditure will not be a result of passing the act.
My Lord, that's the question I was going to put to him. in regard to the request by Honorable Muchawa Mugoya, my lord, the request he made upon which they prepared this certificate. Did you put into consideration the issue of emoluments that will be paid to members of Parliament after they expire? I mean, in between that period of extension?
Yes, we did, Your Lordship, because either way there will be emoluments for members of Parliament.
Yes, the witness has been clear.
Lastly, my lord,
yes.
Now on paragraph 9 of your affidavit. The last. You are saying in paragraph 9 you are saying there was this money had already been provided for the budget, the 29 million.
In paragraph 9?
Yes, paragraph 9 of his affidavit, my lord. The 29 million which was given to members of Parliament. That was
unless we have different documents. My paragraph 9 says that I swear this affidavit in addition to the response answer to the petition.
I think that is additional.
There are two affidavits?
The one of 29 is my lord.
The one of which date?
29. March.
My lords, we have a similar affidavit like my lords have.
This is one at Kampala, 29th day of March, 2018, by the said Keith Mwakanisi. That's the one I have.
My lord, I can present my report cross-check.
One is in respect, is in reply, Mr. Mbale Mabiniti.
This is additional
and this one is in reply, the one Mr. Kwaku is holding is in reply, his petition actually. So there were two different documents. What?
Okay, fine. The one for petition number 5, which is your petition? Landed Council.
Yes, number 5, yes.
Okay, fine.
That's the one which talks of 29 million.
29 in paragraph 9.
Yes.
Yes.
And your argument is that it was already provided before in the budget.
Yes.
The budget for which sector?
Of Parliament. Parliamentary Commission.
Parliamentary Commission. How much was it?
I do not know the exact number of overall.
How much do you know? You don't know. How much was budgeted for?
For the full financial year.
You see, Council Elias, this would have been the beauty of stating the areas you want to cross-examine the witness on. We want to cross-examine him on the 29 million, which in paragraph 9 he says was already in the existing budget for the Parliamentary Commission. He would have come from Kampala knowing I must have facts on my fingertips about this, but now he doesn't know, I mean, what you would ask him.
But my lord, it's from his own affidavit that...
I agree.
That
he's saying, no, listen, I agree with you, I'm not disagreeing. I'm only saying what you're pursuing has got limitations. And to be fair to the witness, he could not have thought of everything. Probably would have come with a document to which he would have referred. He has said the 29 million shillings given to members of parliament was already in the existing budget. It was not a new charge on the consolidated fund. This is really what he's saying. But what they're asking is how much was given to the Parliamentary Commission. And he's saying he cannot remember. That's how I followed you. And I'm saying, had you given a hint of what area, specific areas that the rules say, then we would have faulted him for not coming with the information.
And that information is available and ascertainable. Because I think there must be budget adjustments indicating how much money was.
Anyhow, so please, if you could conclude.
Yeah,
I'm not stampeding you, but
I understand.
Yes.
It's very Mr. Mwakani, this vote, what is it called? That particular vote in the budget?
Which one?
where that 29 million was drawn, what is it for?
Well, I don't have the number, but it was a vote for the parliamentary commission, which was for...
No, the vote item, the item, what is it for?
It's called, I don't have the proper name, but it's a vote for parliamentary commission, as I put it here.
I'll leave it at that.
Is it not the same as asking whether the judiciary had money for this petition to come to Mbale? It is generally within the...
I'll leave it at that, my colleague.
Thank you.
Is he cancelling the same petition or another petition?
Same petition.
Yes. Then why don't you ask the same question? Why do you ask? To save time.
We are hearing jointly.
Representing the same petitioner.
Yes, my brother.
Under the same petition, in the same court, sitting next to each other. You can write the question on a paper and give it, but proceed.
I'm going to be very quick.
Yeah, the cameras are there.
Can you tell our wonderful machine who you are, then continue?
My lords, I am Ladislas Wakapuzi, and he's my in-law.
Come again?
He's my brother-in-law in some way. But I'm going all the same, my lords, I'm going to ask him some questions.
So are you saying you're going to be soft on him because
No, my lords.
their marriage is between the two of you?
My lords, I'm asking him, the 29 million shillings that was paid to members of parliament, was it or was
Speak on the microphone. Take it up a little, yes.
the 29 million shillings that was paid to members of parliament for consultation, was it or was it not a charge of the consolidated fund?
Your Lordship, I need money came from the consolidated fund.
Yes.
Naturally, like all money which had been appropriated by Parliament. So I want to understand this question, like, in the context of that.
No, you have answered. It came from the consolidated fund. It was a charge on the consolidated account. Thank you very much. And when you received the letter from Pastor Mbale, by the way, do you ordinarily get letters from members of parliament, the Director of Finance?
Yes.
Okay. So when you received that letter,
Yes.
and your response was in respect of Section 76 of the Public Finance Act,
Yeah. Yes.
was there a bill attached?
There was no bill attached because the letter was not talking about the bill.
Then what were you answering?
We're answering his question, which is in paragraph 2 and 3. His question.
No, it was in respect of a certificate. The certificate was supporting what?
Was answering the questions raised, issues raised in the paragraph 2 and 3 of Honorable Gaston.
You have a copy of the certificate. You have a copy of it? Yes. There's a background to the certificate.
Yes.
So, when you look at this background, it is specifically about amendment of sections of Articles 73, 77.3, and Articles 1051 of the Constitution. True or false? True. Was there a bill attached?
Answer that question.
What did you say?
I have said we are answering the issues in paragraph 2 and 3 of Honorable Mbale.
But you were issuing a certificate of financial implication.
Yes.
In relation to what?
To the issues,
letter?
To the issues raised in the letter.
I thought you act within the law, or arbitrarily. Do you act arbitrarily or within the law?
Answer, whatever we do in life, whether a letter is coming from Karamoja or anywhere, we must act within the laws of Uganda.
Why Karamoja?
So I believe we...
Now, in this certificate, the letter is not even referred to.
Pastor Wakafuzi, isn't a letter from Mbale Gasta MP, the one for Buko in County North, doesn't it really speak for itself? The response it was seeking, or the matters it was seeking the Minister of Finance.
My Lord, I'm asking him to clarify.
Mr. Wakafuzi, when you apply for a practice certificate, and they give it to you, does it say, refer to your letter or apply for a practice certificate?
No, my Lord, the practicing certificate.
Why should the certificate, this one, refer to Bukoya State?
And we already know these certificates are for the use by Parliament, not by...
And it's provided for by the law. If it says you need a certificate, you need the, for example, what do they call it, a certificate of eligibility, or some other certificate from law council, yes. It doesn't refer to your application.
Mr. Mahakanizi, you first issued the first certificate of financial implication.
Yes.
What necessitated the second certificate of financial?
I am
no. Mr. See, please. Council, do you have a copy of the letter by the MP for Bukoli? Do you have a copy?
My Lord, I have a copy, but...
No, you don't know what I want to ask you. You have a copy?
My Lord, I don't have...
Have you seen it? You may not be having a copy. Have you seen it?
I've heard people talk about it, my Lord.
Mr. Rukwa was seated next to you. Is the one who introduced this letter?
This document which has been tendered in court is now part of the court record.
My Lord is the one who showed us a copy.
Yes.
So that he was acting pursuant to that letter.
Yes.
And I'm asking him.
And Mr. Kwaku,
what law?
Mr. Kwaku put it to a requested court to admit it as an exhibit. And we have done that.
Most of them, my Lord.
You are saying under which law they were preparing the certificate of
financial implication?
But the law is written there on the certificate.
No, my lords. My lords, I wish you give me a chance to put questions to this witness, because they have struggled very far.
Okay, proceed. Maybe you have something up your sleeve. Proceed. Just proceed, and I don't know what you want to put to the witness.
Why don't you go straight to the law and say, look at section 76. Does it say that this certificate can be issued at the request of an MP?
Private member?
Mr. Makanis, that's the question I put.
No, you haven't put the question.
No, and if you are not ready with questions, don't wait for us to frame them for you. Sit down.
What do you seek from the witness? Put it to him.
I'm asking you, Mr. Makanis, are you ordinarily moved by letters from members of parliament for issuance of certificates of financial implication?
We are obliged, because the issues raised in his letter were issues attaching to giving the certificate, and we did provide that certificate. And we are obliged at any time answer all letters and do them within the framework of the laws of Uganda.
The judiciary bill which has been pending for 7 years. You have never
No. Is there any other person with, don't even by the council, is there any other person with the question or two?
You know that
For the record, my name...
You saw Mr. Wakafuzi sitting down out of guilt before we wielded the whip. So you take a cue from him.
Yes, my lords.
Yes.
My name is Mbale. Mr. Keith, I'm a petitioner. Mr. Keith, I have your affidavit to my Mr. Keith Mukahadis. Actually, it starts with Keith.
Keith is the first name.
Yes. I see. I Keith. So, in this affidavit of yours, which I'm holding, none of the annexure there again is signed by you. Verse 1. In petition number 49. None of them, I don't know if you have that.
Yeah.
Yes, Malima is strong. It has A, B, and C.
Yes, but yes.
Yes. Annexure A is not signed by you, signed by Clark. Annexure B is signed by Patrick Shelab. Annexure C is signed by the Honorable Minister. And secondly, you have told this court that as of 20... I'll bring a question, my lord.
You are referring to Annexure what? Annexure A?
Annexure A, B, and C.
A, B, and C.
None of them is his document. I'm just making him to understand my question. And then, you have told this court that as of 28th September 2017, you were out of the country. And you have said that as of 19th December, you were on leave.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would I be right to state that since you never authored any of these documents, since you are not around, when all these things were taking place, you are not fit to make this to give any useful information to this court?
Your Lordship.
The ones who called him, if he had nothing, you called him.
Why sometimes you call him?
When the children submitted that we have looked at it,
Mr. Magirizi,
you can't call someone to tell him that what you have told court is useless.
That would be a point of law. So you just sit back, they are done, and then you surprise the very learned Attorney General that this evidence to you is useless because of this. He will respond, we will pronounce ourselves.
Most obliged.
So ask, listen to my lord.
Yes, my lord.
As you ask your question, you also bear in mind what is stated in your paragraph 17 of your own affidavit, where you say the Public Finance Act is null and void to the extent that it's proposed to amend Article 93 of the Constitution, and no valid action can emanate from that section. In other words, you are saying whatever you're doing will not come forth.
You see, my lord, when he's
So
here,
ask enough questions to validate.
no. When he's here, he speaks for himself. And it sounds better when he says that actually I wasn't there, but he has said that. But now let's go to your paragraph 5. Mr. Maganizi, from your paragraph 5, are you telling court that you are an expert of constitutional law? Because you claim to have examined the bill. Of course you are not there. But are you an expert of constitutional law to have come to that conclusion under paragraph 5? Yes or no?
What is the question about Mr.
Is there an expert of law to have reached the conclusion? You see, my lord?
At least he knows it.
Have you laid the background of his education and so on and so on?
My lord, you told us to go to paragraphs. Because had I asked that, you would have again stopped me. But under paragraph 5, he says he examined the bill, he found it. There are several opinions he's giving.
That is an opinion.
He didn't say he examined the bill, unless we are referring to different affidavits. He You said the office. Mine reads the office. Didn't say himself.
Okay. Let me move on to paragraph 8. Paragraph 8 says there will be no additional. My question is on addition. So do you confirm that there will be some expenditure? Because when you say you are saying there will be no additional.
Can Council complete the question, my lord?
Come again?
Council should complete the question. Because you said no additional.
I'm asking Mr. Mahakanisi, is it true?
No, Mr. Magni.
Is it true that flowing from your paragraph 8, there will be some expenditure flowing from the bill? And to add that, I may refer you to, it's related, my lord.
Yes, but can you let the witness answer?
Most obliged.
Yes.
I was confirming what the certificates were saying, to say there will be no other cost or extra cost as a result of this bill. That's what I confirmed, and I confirm it now.
That there will be no other costs?
No other cost or extra cost.
So my question is?
No, just a moment. Mr. Mokanisi, because it's a lay person like you. But this lay person is not being grilled in one other institution to be putting on PIPs. So now, you say there's no additional financial obligation beyond the medium-term expenditure framework. That's what they say. What is the medium-term expenditure framework?
Your Lordship, thanks. What we are confirming here is that the Public Finance Act does address itself 2 years when the bill has been appropriated, to my best of my knowledge. We are further confirming that beyond the 2 years, there will be no other costs involved.
Whatever you spend within the 2 years are catered for.
Yeah, the other 2 years, because the first part was in the context of the medium-term expenditure framework, which is 2 years by Public Finance Act. But we are confirming with this one that even beyond that one, there will be no other cost. That's what I was saying.
Okay. My next question is it true that you don't mind what happens after the 2 years? Is it true that you don't mind what happens after the 2 years? Whatever the implication may be.
Your Lordship, by virtue that we addressed ourselves beyond the 2 years, which is the Public Finance Act, shows that we are concerned even beyond the 2 years. So I don't understand his question, kindly.
But you have answered it. Anyway. So, Mr. Mwakanis, now, according to your experience in finance and management of this country, isn't it natural that any referendum requires spending of monies from the consolidated fund?
Yes, but the context of this bill, the referendum was not part of this bill or this act. So this
No, Mr. Mwakanizi. Just to remind you, so that I don't have to come back later. The letter written by the MP for Bukoli is very clear on this, to which you responded by issuing, where I say you, I'm talking about your ministry. And me, I don't go to the other niceties. Your ministry, and you're a principal officer in the ministry, whether you're on leave or not, when you came back, you found it on your desk, you went through all of it, because you are the principal person, as permanent secretary to Treasury. So the question is, at the time you issued the certificate of financial implication, it had been drawn to your attention, the issue of a referendum. Are you saying that referendum is also catered for within the medium term, within the 2 years?
No, maybe our context is different. There was a bill and the amendment to the bill, which is separate from, but Honorable Mukoya's questions has two elements: the issues of the bill and the amendment, and even he went ahead speculate about the bill.
No. I'll help you better. There was the bill. Just a moment, please. There was the bill originated by, what's the other fellow from Igara?
Magazine.
You issued the certificate. Learned Council to congratulate you on that. It is not an issue as far as Mr. Mabilis is concerned. It's not an issue. That certificate, we put it aside. In the course of discussing the bill from Mr. What is his name? This one from Bukori. Yes. In the course of discussing, Mugoya, thank you, madam. In the course of discussing that bill, new issues arose. The need to amend the constitution to extend the term of parliament by 2 years, and the need to do likewise. No, the need the Mafabi amendment to restore the presidential term. But Mr. Mukoya is saying that because of this, and he says it in so many words, in that letter which was brought to your attention and you tendered it in, that because of extending the parliamentary term by 2 years, if you have to match it with the presidential, there is need for a referendum. He says it in this letter, Exhibit 3:1.
It's there. While Parliament has jurisdiction to amend the parliamentary and local government tenure of office, an amendment to the presidential term requires a referendum to align the latter tenure with the
former. You understand?
Yes.
And this letter is dated the 18th of December, to which you responded with the certificate of financial implication dated the 19th of December, the day after.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it is here where you say, paragraph E, the second page. If amendments are approved, and this is correct because they were not approved, it was going to be contingent on what you would say. If amendments are approved, there will be no general election of 21. In addition, there will be savings from the resources that would otherwise be required to purchase vehicles for members of parliament in their new term of office.
Yes, sir.
Then in D, you had said, in C, thank you, the expected outcomes of the amendment. C, Roman 2. Are we together?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is noted that a referendum will be held in order to effect the amendments as required under Article 260, Clause 2, Paragraph F. Is it F? I think F. Yeah, F. Funding and budgetary implications. The principle to extend the term of office for the President, Parliament, and local council does not have additional funding implications to government beyond the current emoluments and allowances which shall be met within the existing resources. And you remember earlier I asked you, what is the medium term, and you said 2 years. So from what I have read out to you, which you have also read, are you saying, I think this is what Mr. Mabilis is after, are you saying even the need to fund a referendum which has been drawn to your attention has been catered for in the medium term? Do you have the funds so that you don't go to the consolidated fund now? The referendum which will be necessitated if the bill was approved, as indeed it was. The amendment to the bill was approved, as indeed it was. Were you saying in this document that there will be no need to go to the consolidated fund because that money has already been set aside, so to speak,
Your Lordship,
in the medium term?
Your Lordship, I can request that you give me to explain.
Yes,
our own understanding of the two issues raised by Honorable Augusta. There was the issues, that was our interpretation. There was the issue of the bill and its amendment on its own merit, which is the conclusion in E. However, beyond that one, Augusta had said, suppose there would be a referendum, what will happen? And we answered it to the extent of D and E. I mean, sorry, in a D. So there are two separate, our understanding is two separate things we need to separate. That was our interpretation of Augusta's letter. One, when you extend which was the context of that bill and its amendment, when you extend the parliamentary and local council, would there be extra cost? We said no, because instead we said you'll have a saving, which is E. But the other father went ahead to raise the issue, which was not part of that bill, which was, suppose we get presidential elections, certainly there requires a referendum, there will be a cost. So it's separate matter.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mahakani, but that is not what is stated in paragraph B. In fact, it is of singular significance that while B should be addressing the expected outcomes of the amendment, the language is changed. Instead of the expected outcome of the amendment, now the language changes the principle to extend the term. The Honorable Member of Parliament, Augusta, never wanted the implications of the Minister of Finance as regards the principle. His inquiry and the necessity for the certificate was with regard to the outcome. And that is why he specifically mentioned that it will require the amendment for the presidential term requires a referendum. And the certificate doesn't answer this specifically. Instead, the language changes to the principle, instead of the outcome of the amendment. Can we get some guidance?
Yes. I don't know how I can explain.
You have to explain.
Yes.
You have to explain.
Honorable Augusta raised. So for us, we read it in the context of the bill.
But is there a bill, Mr. Mbale? Is there a bill requiring or any act to, I don't know?
Oh, the amendment.
Or amendment in which means that requires the referendum under Article 1. I don't understand why it is that. When that bill that we end up with the referendum comes, we need to notice it. The certificate not be sold on its own.
My lords, my question to Mr. Mahakani was, in his experience, does it naturally flow that a referendum is funded from the consolidated fund? I wanted a yes or a no.
But
for sure,
your question has to relate to what is the issue in this court.
Yes, my lord. He stated.
It's the issue of referendum.
Under C Roman 2 of his certificate, this second certificate, it says it is noted that a referendum will be held.
Where is that?
This second certificate, the second page, paragraph C Roman 2.
But it stems from Mr. Mboya's letter.
Yes. Yes. Now I'm reading the certificate.
It says that while Parliament has jurisdiction to amend the parliamentary and local government term of office, an amendment for the presidential term requires the referendum aligned. So my question is, this amendment, is it before Parliament that requires the referendum? Is it in the Magazine Bill?
My Lord, I shall come to that level.
No, I'm just asking for purpose so that we can go, then for us we shall deal with that. For the purposes of this Magazine Bill,
my Lord, my line was, as I told you the other day, this second certificate was tabled during the committee of the whole House. And it had been kept somewhere. So it has come out. So they state clearly that there will be a referendum. So my question to him was the head, the accounting office of that ministry. Naturally, would that referendum require expenditure from the consolidated fund?
I thought there will be a referendum in the event that they have to align the presidential term with the parliament.
Yes, my Lord.
And does it have to be? My Lord?
You see, my Lord, I'm with the
They have
financial
to align it, they may not align it. Is it in the bill? It's not in the bill.
but it's in his certificate.
No, what my Lord is saying, Mr. Mbale, what my Lord is saying here is, you better get it, this a nicety. Yes, the Minister of Finance has said, when there is a referendum, the bill need to provide the funds. I'm just paraphrasing. And my Lord is saying, despite they having said that, which is a statement of a treason, before the House, or in this act as it is, the one you're challenging, there is no amendment requiring for extending the presidential term to 7 to match the parliamentary term. And my Lord, as yet, my Lord is saying, when that matter comes up, if it is still brought up by a private member, because these certificates are only required when a private member brings the matter. Yeah. If it is required, then the Minister of Finance would issue a specific certificate, either that there will be need to go to the consolidated funds, and we know in the consolidated funds the money is there. Or they'll say, if you hold these elections now, we're not able to fund it. Something like this.
My Lords, I'm obliged.
When it comes up, not
this
now.
This matter will arise when a private member's bill is brought to amend Article 6105. At that point, they will require. As of now, what they require is that in any event, if Mr. Pakati does not say that a referendum requires money, you think judges will say, Mahakani said that the referendum does not require money, therefore it does not require money. I don't think we are that.
I will disagree with him and we'll give our reasons.
But there's time. Save our time.
Serving the time.
And being reasonable, there are things we can see and things we cannot see.
Most obliged.
I don't think a person should come from Kampala to tell us that the referendum requires money. We know it requires money.
So, Mr. Maganizi, you say the new duties before the law. And I think as the Secretary of Treasury, you are very much conversant with two laws. Article 93 of the Constitution and Section 73, right? Right. So when you read 93, is there a provision that gives you powers to issue a certificate? Article 93 of the Constitution?
Your Lordship, whether it is a renter.
Do you have a copy of the Constitution there?
Is there anything that prohibits?
Is there? The Constitution.
Because his opinion is saying that, you are coming for cross-examination. Cross-examine someone on facts, but on his opinion on the law, you shall submit.
Yes. You see, my Lord.
No, just a moment, Mr. Mbale. In the course of, I think, when Mr. Lokobo was cross-examining him, the witness said where the provision for certificate is. He never said it's in the Constitution. Said, is it
now,
for the public finance? Something?
My Lord.
Is that the public finance act?
Yes, something like that.
My Lord.
That's what he said.
Now, my problem is this.
Yes. I'm glad you say it is a problem.
If you don't, yes, it's a problem, because if you don't give me my ample space to put my questions the way. He admits that he's an expert in finance. He admits that he's guided by two laws, Article 93 and then the Act. So I'm saying in Article 93 of the Constitution, as an expert, and in his affidavit, if you read it, he depends as an expert. He talks about the financial system of this country.
On interpretation of the Constitution?
Yes, actually, there is a way he interprets it. In that
he's an expert?
And when I put that question, you said I cannot quote it. But when I was dealing with his paragraph 5, he gives an opinion which is not from any advice. So Article 93 is elementary. Him as a financial man. And my question was simple. Does he see anything there which says that the PS will issue a certificate or the minister? That was my question. And if you let him answer, it will help my case better. I don't have so many questions actually. But 93 is my board.
You answer that one. Is it provided for in 93? For you to issue a certificate of
as you know,
implication?
I would be a liar if I say I'm a lawyer and how laws are interpreted. But my understanding is that the Constitution must be read together with all the laws of Uganda and regulations under the laws of Uganda. And therefore, under that system, I don't know what it's called, the system, under the laws of Uganda, Public Finance Act and regulations under the regulations issued under Public Finance Act do provide for the minister to give certificates or announce whatever in the name. Thank you.
Okay. My last, when you look at that certificate you issued by the minister, attached C to your affidavit. As an expert in finance, are you there? Annex C.
Go ahead.
The certificate of financial implications.
That's the second one, eh? Is it the second or the first one?
The first one.
The first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you see anything superfluous in that certificate? Anything superfluous?
Shall object to that? I think
the answer is no, my lord. My lord, that question is important.
He has answered. He says no.
Yes.
And he was quite emphatic.
So thank you, my lord. Thank you, Mr. Keith.
Okay, thank you, too. Any other person, any other cross-examination?
With your leave, I will be very meeker.
If you could tilt the microphone up, so that whatever you say comes out clearly and...
I'm obliged, my lord. I need the PSSE to help the court about the procedure for issuing a certificate of financial implication.
This is James Biamoka.
I'm James Biamoka.
Yes, I'm just helping you so that we appear on record.
I'm most obliged, my lord. I would like the witness to help us, particularly understand the procedure, because he's the accounting officer, and I believe these matters first come to him as the head of the ministry. Am I right? Mr. Mohakanism. I will not waste time. I'll go straight away to the affidavit which you delivered in petition number 10. But it's really interchangeable with the other affidavit. And I will take you to the annex charge. Annex charge A, B, C. On my own affidavit, but from what I could overhear, they are common to all the other affidavits. In my own understanding of the affidavit, that is where the procedure is. Annexed A, you obtain a request. Am I right? Are we together?
Yes.
And annexed A of one of their affidavits, you receive a request.
For sure.
And in this case, it is by the clerk to Parliament.
Yes.
Requesting the Minister of Finance with special attention to the PSS. And that.
Yes.
After receiving the request, you make a technical assessment.
Yes.
Of the request.
Yes.
And that is the substance of your handwritten minute PP for director budget. Please prepare on an extra.
To direct a budget,
yes,
is to say, please prepare, and therefore do the assessment.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is the gist of that handwritten comment.
Yes.
Then we go to an extra P.
Yes.
PSSE has done the needful, am I right? And the minister has signed the certificate.
Yes.
And the certificate signed is the one in annexures, signed by the Minister of Finance and subsequently received. That is the process.
Yes.
Whenever you receive a request for a certificate of financial implications, section 76, which arises from Article 93, this is what you do.
Yes.
This is your checklist of procedure.
Yes.
Now let me take you to the second certificate of financial implications. That code is covered because you had never.
Yes.
The request was by a one Mugoya Chawa Justa.
Honorable.
Honorable, of course. They are all honorable.
Yes, Your Lordship.
What is his status in the parliament?
His status?
Yes, my lord.
His status is a member of parliament. It's written there.
Thank you for that short answer. Mr. PSSD, can it be it and anybody to make a request for a certificate of financial implication and you would comply? Can it be a piece of body?
But wait. If you see in his letter, it is headed Parliament. It has a reference. If I could get the letter, I'll read you the reference of the file of Parliament. And therefore, we are responding to somebody of a substance in the Parliament to the extent there was even that reference of the file, which we knew,
yes,
which we are always corresponding to.
Yes. So the letter has a letterhead Parliament.
And has a reference of the file we are using working with.
And if it was signed by an office messenger, but the letterhead is Parliament.
My Lord, we are not speculating here.
My Lord, let me interrogate this witness about the procedure.
In this case, it was not by messenger, it was a member of Parliament of that stature.
In the first certificate, it was the clerk to Parliament.
Yes.
Am I right to say clerk to Parliament is the accounting officer?
Yes.
Clerk to Parliament, CSSE, government is functioning properly. Actually, because both of you are accounting officers.
Yeah, I'm an accounting officer of the nation. She's the accounting officer of Parliament.
Finance, correct?
No, I'm not finance, of the nation. I'm not the accounting officer, Minister of Finance. For correct record, I'm not. Because I'm the one who appoints all accounting officers, including the clerk. I am an accounting officer of the nation.
Is that what you stated in your affidavit?
That's why I'm separate treasury.
May I read to you what you stated in your affidavit? You are?
Yes.
You stated paragraph 1, you are the PS in the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Where does all this flamboyance come from?
And now go straight to what is relevant.
Yes, my lords, I'll ask him the question that is an interesting witness.
No.
Is it?
You can talk to him after.
Is it ever? Is a very big person, my lord, and they never.
It doesn't say in paragraph 1 is the accounting officer for
It says it's the PS.
No. It says it's PS. You can be PS without being an accounting officer.
National economy, I don't see. But
Proceed to the point so that we can...
With regard to your second certificate of financial implications, would it be normal for any Ugandan, for that matter, to apply to the ministry for a certificate of financial implications?
If your lordship would have replied to that person, to that effect, but in this case, I have already answered, we are replying to a letter coming from Parliament with a reference which we checked coming from the file of Parliament. So I can't answer that question. It should be somebody from Parliament.
But not the clerk of Parliament as accounting officer.
But if your case is that an MP cannot not originate a request, put it.
It is my case indeed, my lord.
Put it in a submission.
And I'm putting it to you.
The facts are not in dispute. The certificate was originated by an MP, not a clerk of Parliament. Those facts are not in dispute.
Yes, my lord.
So, as to their implication, it's a question of submission, not a question of opinion of the witness.
I'm obliged, my lord. Finally, I wish to refer you again to the affidavit you made in my petition. My petition is number 10. I know that you made affidavits in some other petitions. In that affidavit, you attached only one certificate of financial position. Am I right? It's true. Is it not true?
I can't recollect, but suppose it was true.
Can I give you my copy to use it? You can look at it.
Yes.
You attached one. Why did you attach one when there are two?
Because I think that's what we are asking for.
You think?
That's
Why? I put it to you that you attached one because you were concealing the second certificate.
no.
Yes or no?
No.
And I further put it to you that you were concealing the second certificate because you know it is defective and improper for the law.
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Have a good time.
Thank you. Learned Attorney General, do you have anything in the examination?
My lord, sorry. I may have another chance, but I need to notify the court that I shall apply for his evidence to be struck out. Just put your notice so that when I rise on that.
But it's not the time. You address us on that. Yeah.
My Lord, we have about 4 questions in re-examination. Mr. Muhakanizi, I will take you to Exhibit P1. That is the second certificate of financial implications. Exhibit P2, my Lord. Look at the first paragraph of that certificate. What does it indicate? First paragraph.
First paragraph of which certificate?
Of the second certificate.
Second certificate.
Yes.
Second paragraph.
Yes, of the certificate dated 19th December 2017.
Yes, paragraph B.
First paragraph.
First paragraph.
Yes.
Yes.
What does it state?
Background.
No.
I'm sorry. This certifies, sorry.
So what is it certifying?
That the cabinet memorandum on information paper CT in bracket 1017 188 on the constitutional amendment bill 2/17 has been examined and required under section 76 of Public Finance Management Act.
Okay.
The bracket amendment.
So that is the second certificate of financial implications.
Yes.
My question is, the record of the court shows that you responded to Honorable Mugoya's letter.
Yes.
What, am I correct to say that you also responded to the cabinet memorandum information paper?
Yes.
But we never talked about cabinet paper, cabinet whatever, by the name called, she's out of line, my lord.
It is in the certificate.
Just a moment.
We never prosecuted.
No, you see, this certificate number 2 was tendered in at the instance of Counsel for the Petitions. And that document speaks about cabinet proceedings in cabinet. Do you want to run away from it?
Yes, but my lord, but the witness is the witness. From his mouth, he said it is Gasta Mugoya. And he said it's okay so long as it's a letterhead from Parliament.
No. Don't go there. Your objection was it did not arise from your cross-examination, so it could not be tied in re-examination. And I'm reminding you, it arose from your cross-examination. It was even tendered in by your request, where your request means one of your colleagues.
My lord,
it is before court.
I pray you appreciate how it happened. That is actually the respondent who produced this document after court demanded for it.
That's okay.
Having discovered there is something they are not saying.
That is okay.
As it is, we know it what.
Counsel Biamokama, please. Counsel Biamokama, please.
Where were you when we were naming it as a petition as the
number 2?
I was here in Fulalat.
You want to call it context?
But even if it is court exhibit, it is on record already. And it came during cross. If you had not asked for the witness to come today, this document would not be here, probably.
My lords, you know what the witness said. That second certificate originated from a one Gasta Mugoya.
But my lord, I don't know why counsel is...
Counsel can proceed with the re-examination.
Because he didn't even ask for it. It is Mr. Mbale.
No, it's okay. Proceed with the re-examination, please.
Thank you, my lord.
Yeah.
Let me take you to the second certificate. Second certificate of financial implications.
I thought that's where you were.
So there is a paragraph there. Paragraph E of that annex of that exhibit. There was an explanation which you were making about the saving of costs. What do you mean by paragraph E?
E. Is it E?
E, my lord.
E. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We never asked about paragraph.
No, Mr. Biamokama, we have ruled on this. We have ruled. The whole of it becomes relevant.
Our sections were quite specific. Re-examination.
No, we've ruled on that. We've ruled on that. What you're saying now is taking us back. We're saying the witness can be cross-examined on this document if you want to cross-examine on every word, every punctuation, because it is in evidence. And similarly, re-examination. And again, similarly, court examination.
We will have
because it is on record now.
Yes. But my lord,
if you restricted your cross-examination, we cannot say.
Yes. My lord, just try keep her within the borderline of what she's supposed to.
Yes, learned counsel for Attorney General, please.
My lord, I was asking the witness to explain to us what he meant by paragraph E of the certificate of financial implications.
Your Lordship, as you know, I've been here for more than 2 hours. It's not a joke to be in the court. More than 2 hours.
Even sitting in your office is not a joke. And you sit for 12 hours a day.
Can I read then I explain?
She's asked you to read actually.
Yes. If amendment E, expected savings and or revenue to government. If amendments are approved, there will be no general elections till 2023. And therefore, savings to government in the form of resources, they are marked for elections in 2021. In addition, there will be savings from the resources that would otherwise be required to purchase vehicles for members of parliament in their new term of office in 2021. That's what we mean.
The other question is about the MTIF, the medium-term expenditure framework. You cited it a number of times. What does it mean?
It means the framework for the it means your lordship, I need protection.
Please, we will have order in court. This is my witness, not anybody's witness. It's my property, so I will react with a lot of indignation if anybody does anything which harms him. Now you're protected.
It means the expenditure of the next of this financial and next financial. And it is rolled over every year.
When you talk about it like that, does it arise from any law or practice or policy?
The Public Finance Act defines in the context of any bill to be introduced by private members of parliament, or any bill that we shall issue a certificate after they assess the financial implications over the next 2 years, over the 2 years of the expenditure framework.
So do you still stand by the statements that you made that the bill is budget neutral?
For sure. That's what we stated. That's the budget neutral.
And that there is no charge on the consolidated fund?
Yes.
That's all my notes.
That is all. Mr. Attorney General, anything to cap up on? No, just a moment. Let's have order. I had called him. Let's see.
My Lord, that's all from this witness.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Mr. Wakafuzi.
For the record, my Lord, the witness didn't say, he said that this budget neutral. He did not say that there will be no charge from the constitution. He never said that.
In your submission, then what will you submit on if you're going to...
That would be a submission.
Mr. Mwakanizi, either I or we just seek clarification. This thing of certificate of financial implication, what is the role of the Minister of Finance? Does it extend to advising Parliament that if you proceed with this bill, we will not be able to manage it? Does it include something like this? For example, can you tell Parliament that, please, we cannot have the money to sustain what is contained in this bill? Or does it leave it to Parliament once you've said this is the implication and it is for Parliament to determine whether to go ahead or not?
Your Lordships, it has two elements. The first element is exactly what you have said, to say there will be these financial implications, and therefore money is in the budget framework paper. I mean, will it be made available or not? Because they can proceed. The second one is a legal one. To the extent that a private member's bill cannot have a charge on a consolidated account, we do the assessment and give our views in the financial implications to say this bill has financial implications, therefore it is unconstitutional or it is illegal, so to speak. Or it has no charge on the consolidated account or extra charge, therefore you can proceed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mwakanizi, for coming to help court arrive at a just decision in this matter. Okay. So we were proposing we have a health break, 15 minutes. We come back, we proceed for an hour, and then we go for lunch. We want to know, what other witnesses do you have, Mr. Attorney General?
My lords, as I said earlier, now we are remaining with 6 witnesses who are physically here.
Yes.
Mr. John Mitara, who is the head of the service.
Can we have 2 when we come back from this health break?
And the rest,
No, can we have a minimum of 2?
Yes, my lords.
Before we go for lunch. We are not going for lunch now, we are going for 15 minutes health break.
My lords, all the witnesses are here. It depends on how they perform.
Thank you. Okay, so we resume at 15:15.
Alo, onzijukira twegwako mu kabutiki wandira mu kasimu ka Fero aka MTN baby yakamatira.
Ate munnange kakomyewo osobola okefunira mu dduuka lya
esimu ya smartphone emanyiddwa nga Fero okuva mu MTN ekomyewo ate nga kati eri ku bbeeyi ya nsekobuseko emitwalo 12 zokka. Weefunire Fero A4001 Plus anti ejjirako GB2 eza internet okuva mu MTN kw'ossa n'akajaketi kaayo ak'obwereere. Kati nno weefunire esimu ya smartphone ya Fero olwaleero okuva mu maduuka ga MTN oba ku jumia.ug.
Everywhere you go, MTN. Coming soon on NTV.
Money, the making of money, which is business, and the things that affect this process like policy.
Any company that comes here and is domiciled in Uganda becomes a local company. I'm not satisfied. If I had my way, we must be innovative in approach.
How do they connect? How can they make for opportunity for you?
How best is